Hey everyone, today we continue our journey with issue 8 of the Star Wars High Republic comics by Marvel. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and go support the series by purchasing a copy of these comics. Heart of the Drengir, Chapter 3, The Root of Terror. As the galaxy prepares to celebrate the Republic Fair on Valo, a fierce battle rages in the depths of wild space. Marshal Avar Kriss has gathered a task force of Jedi and Hutt enforcers to take the fight to the evil Drengir, targeting the source of their power on the forest world of Melita. Jedi and Hutt stand shoulder to shoulder in battle, but there is no sign of troubled Jedi Knight Keeve Trennis. Starlight Beacon. We need more reinforcements, Astala. And as I have repeatedly explained, Master Skier, we've already sent every Jedi we can muster. Then you need to find more. Maru crosses his arms. And how should I do that exactly? We're steering dangerously close to stepping on the Council's toes as it is. The Republic Fair is the last thing on any of our minds right now, Skier interrupts. Skier is lost to static as the hollow cuts out. Oh, not again, Maru shrugs. Administrator Jahan, can we boost the transmitter array? We're trying, Master Maru, but there's something wrong with the comms network as a whole. Chief Norn has dispatched a maintenance team, she responds. Maru places his palm to his forehead. What about you, Casey? Any luck raising council member Geos on Valo? The droid beeps, to which Maru responds, Yes, I am more than aware that luck as a concept is incompatible with your belief in physical determinism, but at this precise moment, I'll take all the help I can get. Melita, wild space. The battle rages on. Jedi, the Hutts, and Rancors all united in their fight against the multiplying Drengir. Skier, leading the charge from atop a Rancor, calls to the group. Looks like we are on our own. For light and life. He extends his blue saber forward. His army echoes, For light and life. Myarga cracks her whip as she mocks. I thought a Jedi was never on their own. Skier retorts, This is hardly the time for semantics, Myarga. We agree on that at least, Master Skier. Personally, I won't rest until the great progenitor's head is mounted on the wall of my dread cruiser. As long as it's that way around, Skier adds. Master Comac chimes in. I hadn't put the Drengir down as trophy collectors. Your scaly friend would know, Master Comac, Myarga replies. Skier, irritated, responds, Not this again. For the last time, the Drengir's hold over me has long been broken. Thanks to your former Padawan, who is not here. Don't remind me. Skier slices through the vines wrapping over the back of his Rancor. What I wouldn't give to have Keeve by my side. A large Drengir vine swings upward and knocks Myarga from her sled and Skier from the Rancor. These damned vines, Myarga complains. Won't someone free me? Free yourself. Skier calls over to her. She scoffs. Spoken like a true servant of the Republic. As they continue to free themselves, there is a rustling from beyond the Drengir. The Force-Bond twins, Tarek and Sarit, are the first to spot the new threat. Large insects entwined in Drengir vines begin entering the battle. Fascinating. The Drengir appear to have weaponized local arthropods to act as guards, much like the symbiotic relationship between the Shishak tree and the char ant on Kashyyyk. What are you two blathering about? Nothing about this is fascinating. Deal with them. Skier, also disappearing inside a cluster of vines, argues, We are not your private army, Myarga. The arthropods begin to burst. Myarga notices. Nonetheless, your force abilities are most appreciated. The bugs continue exploding all around them. It wasn't me, Skier admits. Keeve and Orla burst onto the scene, jumping from their ship with lightsabers ignited. Keeve Trennis, you came. Looks like it, she replies. And I brought a friend. Orla Jareni, meet everyone. Everyone, meet Orla Jareni. Skier glances over at the newly arrived Jedi. We've met before, a long time ago. That's one way of putting it. You're looking as handsome as ever, Guacona, Orla replies. Orla, please, not in front of the Hutts, he responds. Master Comac chimes in. You two haven't changed. Still an explosive combination. And one I really don't want to think about if I'm ever going to sleep again, Keeve says, disgusted. Where's Avar? The twins, using the force to toss the arthropods away from them, answer. Last time we saw her, Marshal Chris was heading to the center of the forest to face the great progenitor. Keeve sprints off, which is exactly what she shouldn't do. Orla, can you bring Master Skier up to speed? The pleasure will be mine, and not for the first time, she replies. Thanks, Keeve calls back, and also, seriously? Keeve runs through the forest, slicing through vines and branches. A voice comes from behind her. Let us help, Keeve Trennis. Appreciate it. Tarek? Correct, Tarek responds. Ha, I'm getting better, at least at recognizing you from your... Keeve Trennis, he yells as she falls down into a ditch. She lands on her back and looks down at her feet. A skull with vines growing through the empty eye sockets. Those are... Nile remains, Tarek finishes her thought. They've been here on Melita, she wonders. Tarek accompanies her. Do you feel that? He asks. Keeve nods as she looks beyond. Marshal Chris. She leaps forward, cutting through more vines. It's a trap! The gigantic beast has Avar in its grasp, wrapped in vines and being pulled towards the open mouth of the great progenitor. I think she knows, Keeve Trennis, Tarek calls to her. Crick, Keeve curses as she looks up at the monster. Avar's eyes open. She struggles to speak with the vine entering her mouth. Keeve, she strains. Should we call the others? Tarek asks. Keeve clicks her two sabers together, creating her double-bladed staff. No, she replies. We're enough. We've always been enough. The giant bugs start approaching them again. Foolish child, the progenitor calls out. The harvest will be ours. And the Jedi, like the Dark Lords and thieves before them, will spread our empire of thorns. The Dark Lords? Tarek asks. The ancient Sith. That's who trapped the Drengir on the Amaxian station long ago before we freed them. The progenitor's smart, I'll give her that. Feeding me her location, knowing that Avar herself would lead the charge. She twirls her saber, cutting down the approaching arthropods. Bonding with Skier was one thing, but Chris, she can do things no one else can. She connects us all, becoming our root mind. The beast responds, Indeed, child. Your marshal shall lead the charge as you spread the Drengir far and wide. Avar reaches her hand out towards Keeve, holding her in the air. The question is whether you will join the darkness or die by her hand. Funny, I don't think that's the question at all. I think the real question is, when will you realize you've criffed up? She smirks. You were right about one thing. Avar does bring us together, which was your biggest mistake. She grabs at her neck as Avar's force grip tightens around her. Because when Jedi come together, we do incredible things. Avar looks over at Keeve, tears streaming down her face. The force surrounds us. What is that? The progenitor asks. Keeve closes her eyes. It is the light. The force dwells within us. The force flows through us. The connection between the Jedi grows. The force protects us. Sarat, Orla, Comac, Skier, all joining in with their focus, their concentration. The force is light. For the force is strong. For the force is light. Avar jumps backwards, releasing herself from the grasp of the Drengir. For the force is life. The great progenitor growls. No, what is happening? I cannot hear the root mind. For the force is life. Avar lands in between Tarek and Keeve. Light banishes darkness, great progenitor. It also brings wisdom. Is that not so, Jedi Trennis? Long ago, the Sith froze you at the heart of their totems of darkness, cutting you off from the root mind. She looks up at the beast. And now you do the same as the enemy you despised, it asks. No, they did it to protect themselves, she answers. We do it to protect everyone else. Myerga stands with her army, side by side with the Jedi. Where is the progenitor? She asks. I shall tear the overgrown Grudaweed apart. I'll burn its stinking forest to the ground. Soldiers of the glorious Hutt cartel, Myarga directs them, take aim. Her soldiers lift their blasters, readying themselves for the onslaught. Avar stops them. No, lower your weapons. Now. Myarga's eyes narrow. You protect the monster that has been plaguing our worlds? We protect life, Avar answers. Skier, Tarek, and Sarit approach. Careful, careful, Skier directs them. What are those? Myarga asks. Stasis field generators, the twins respond. We have disrupted the Drengir's telepathic bond, but must deal with the root of the problem. Pun intended. That is precisely what I plan to do, Myarga says as she cracks her whip violently. Death to the Drengir! Kiev slashes the tail of the whip with her saber blade. Didn't you hear the marshal? Not today. Not while our sabers burn. Ah! What are you doing? Cries Myarga. Kiev stands back as the stasis fields are set in place. Putting right a terrible mistake, she answers. Master Comac directs his Padawan. Now, Wreath. Wreath Silas switches on the generator. Activating now, Master Vitus. The field generators burst to life and encompass the massive Drengir. It is finished! Finally, calls Skier. Not while that creature still lives, Myarga starts. The glorious Hutt cartel is free of the Drengir as long as the great progenitor remains within that field, as is the Republic, Avar interrupts. We will secure the creature and the Bogan Vault on Starlight. The Drengir will sleep once more, Orla adds. But I won't sleep, Myarga complains, not until I've bathed in the monster's blood. Kiev looks at Avar. Do Drengir even have blood? We'll never find out, she responds, because for Myarga to make good on her threat, she'll have to go through us. Avar points her ignited blade toward the hut, with the rest of the Jedi behind her, ready for a confrontation. Myarga looks to the group of Jedi, silent. Well, Kiev asks, what's it to be? The Hutt cartel blasts off from the planet, leaving conflict for another day. Kiev looks up at the departing craft. I guess our alliance is at an end. Avar agrees, for now, although who knows what the future will bring. Thank you, Kiev. Without you... Kiev cuts her off. No, without us. For light and life. For light and life, Avar echoes as her comlink buzzes. Marshal Chris, come in, please. This is Starlight. And comms are restored, seconds after the Orbach bolted. Good work, Astala. Kiev yells into the comm. Master Maru, we did it. We defeated the Drengir. Is that Trennis? Maru asks. She arrived just in time, Avar answers. Maru, perhaps you can inform Council Member Geos of our success. That's why I'm calling. I've just come off the comm to Master Geos. It's the Republic Fair. The fair? What about it? Avar wonders. It's gone, Maru responds, his eyes wide, still in disbelief. What? Maru looks out at an image of the Republic Fair, torn down to rubble. What should have been a celebration of the wonders of the galaxy, shattered to ruins. The Nile, he reports, they're back, and this time they couldn't be stopped. Join us next time to catch the next chapter in the Star Wars High Republic comics by Marvel. Please be sure to like this video and let us know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to follow along as we review more issues of the High Republic comics. Thanks, and may the Force be with you.